A 62-year-old woman sat in my salon chair last month and asked me why foundation doesn't look right on her anymore. She wasn't being dramatic, she just missed looking like herself. But after 30 years as a Korean makeup artist working on mature skin, I can tell you the problem isn't her face, it's the foundation. I tested 10 of the most popular anti-aging foundations on real clients under salon lights. Only 3 earned a spot in my kit, and one of them surprised me more than anything I've used. Number 1. Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk, 1 out of 10. I know this is a cult classic. I used to love this foundation myself. The old formula was beautiful. It blended like a dream and gave you that lit from within look that made mature skin glow without looking oily. But since they quietly reformulated it, something changed. On mature skin specifically, it separates within a couple of hours. It doesn't blend the way it used to, and it starts settling into every line on the face. I had a client come back to me after wearing this all day, and the creasing around her mouth was more visible than it had been barefaced that morning. For $70, this should be flawless on any skin type. It's not. Not anymore. Hard pass. Number 2. Fenty Beauty Pro Filt'r Soft Matte. 3 out of 10. Credit where it's earned. The shade range here is incredible. If you've struggled for years to find your exact match, this line probably has it. But watch what the matte finish does on mature skin. It pulls everything flat, grabs onto any little bit of dryness, and makes texture look more obvious instead of less. By the afternoon, you can see every pore, every fine line, every patch of dry skin because the matte has turned it all into a textured canvas. The color sits perfectly, but the finish fights you all day. In Korean beauty, we talk about letting the skin breathe and move under the product. Matte does the exact opposite. It locks everything down and dries it out. Beautiful shade, wrong formula for skin in your 50s and 60s. Number 3. Nars Light Reflecting Foundation, 8 out of 10. This one actually works with mature skin instead of against it, and that difference is everything. The hydration in the formula keeps it moving naturally on the face throughout the day. It doesn't stiffen up and it doesn't pull the way matte formulas do. I've applied this on clients first thing in the morning and checked back hours later to find it still sitting smoothly over every line and texture. It doesn't cling to dry patches, it doesn't emphasize crepey areas around the eyes, and it doesn't break down or separate around the nose or chin. It looks like healthy, dewy skin, and that glow doesn't turn greasy by the afternoon. If you want your skin to look luminous and comfortable all day, this is a strong choice. It's expensive, but it actually earns the price. Now, this next one is where I start getting frustrated, because when a brand specifically markets to women like us and then lets us down, that's worse than a product that was never meant for mature skin in the first place. Number 4. IT Cosmetics CC Cream, 3 out of 10. This one frustrates me the most because it's marketed specifically for mature skin. That promise is right there on the packaging. Women in their 50s and 60s are the target customer, but the formula is way too dense. It grabs onto dry patches and catches on texture instead of gliding over it. I've had clients tell me it looks decent for the first hour, but sit with it through a morning of errands and by lunchtime it's broken down, sitting heavy and looking chalky on every dry spot. The coverage separates around the nose and gets cakey along the jawline. And the worst part is that it settles into fine lines in a way that actually makes them more obvious than they were before application. If you're going to put mature skin on the label, the product inside better deliver on that promise. This doesn't. Number 5. MAC Studio Fix Fluid, 7 out of 10. This is professional grade foundation, and it shows. I've been reaching for MAC in my salon when I need something reliable, and Studio Fix hasn't let me down. It's buildable, which means you can layer it up where you need more coverage without it turning into a heavy mask everywhere else. It stays in place throughout the day without settling into lines, and the finish is balanced. Not too matte, not too dewy. It lands right in that comfortable middle ground where mature skin looks healthy and natural. I did a full face on a client last winter before she went to a wedding, and she texted me 10 hours later saying the foundation still looked fresh. That's the kind of reliability you want. I've been using this on clients for years, and the consistency is what keeps me coming back to it. Solid, reliable, and worth the price. Number 6. Estee Lauder Double Wear, 2 out of 10. This one hurts because I used to trust it. I recommended it to clients for years, and they came back happy. Then they reformulated and everything shifted. Now I watch it oxidize on mature skin throughout the day. You apply it in the morning and it looks like a perfect match. By 3 in the afternoon, it's sitting orange in your marionette lines and the creases around your nose. A client of mine wore this to her daughter's engagement party last year and came home looking like she'd put on a completely different shade than the one she started with. It actually emphasizes wrinkles that weren't even visible before you put it on. The old double wear was one of the best. This version is one of the biggest disappointments. When a foundation makes your skin look worse than bare, something went wrong at the lab. If you're learning something new from this, hit subscribe. I test these products on real clients every week so you don't waste $70 on a foundation that turns orange by lunch. Now this next one is the reason I made this video. Number 7. Luxe Color Changing Foundation. 10 out of 10. This is the one I reach for first when a mature skin client sits in my chair. It adapts to your exact skin tone as you blend it in. You don't have to guess your shade, it won't oxidize darker 2 hours later, and it won't sit orange in your smile lines by afternoon. What you see at 9 in the morning is exactly what you see at 6 in the evening. On mature skin, the formula moves with your face instead of sitting stiff on top of it. It doesn't settle into marionette lines, doesn't grab onto dry patches, doesn't catch on crepey texture around the eyes or jawline. Your skin still looks like your skin, just smoother and more even than you expected. I've been doing this for 30 years, and this outperforms foundations 3 times its price. I actually found this cheaper on Amazon than in the store, so I'll leave a link in the description if you want to try it for yourself. It's a best-selling foundation on Amazon right now. Now, you'd think after finding a clear winner, the rest would be easy to dismiss. But number 8 actually fooled me for 2 full hours. Number 8, Makeup by Mario Surreal Skin Foundation. 4 out of 10. The first impression when you apply this is beautiful. I'll give it that. It looks like skin. It blends well. The finish is natural and soft. For about 2 hours, you'd think you found your forever foundation. But the staying power lets it down completely. By midday, it fades unevenly, especially around the nose and chin where mature skin has more movement and more oil. You end up with patches where the foundation is still holding, and patches where your bare skin is showing through, and that contrast makes things look worse than wearing nothing at all. I had a client wear this to a morning brunch, and by the time she got home in the early afternoon, she looked like she hadn't applied anything at all. If you only need it for a quick event or photos, it works. For a real day, it's not dependable. And if that one disappointed me, this next one actually made me angry for the price they're charging. Number 9, Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless. 3 out of 10. For $70, I expected this to be special. Instead, it goes on like putty. The texture is thick, but not in a way that gives you actual coverage. It sits on top of the skin without blending into anything underneath. I tested this on a client with crepey skin along her jawline, and it caught on every bit of texture she had. Thick but hollow. You can feel the product on your face and still see everything you were trying to smooth over. It also has this strange tendency to look almost chalky on dry areas, which is the opposite of what you want on post-menopausal skin. For that price, you could buy MAC Studio Fix twice and get better results both times. Complete waste. That leaves one more. And honestly, this one is the most confusing because it's not bad. It's just nothing. Number 10. Clinique Even Better Clinical Serum Foundation. 4 out of 10. It's lightweight. It feels nice on the skin. And honestly, if that's all you need from a foundation, this will do fine. But the coverage is so sheer that it doesn't address the things mature skin actually deals with every day. Age spots still show through completely. Redness stays visible. Uneven tone stays uneven. It doesn't make anything worse, which is why I gave it a 4 instead of a 2 or 3. But it doesn't help either. I've had clients try this hoping the serum part would give them some skincare benefit on top of the coverage, and they just ended up disappointed on both counts. I always tell my clients that a foundation should be doing something for you, even if the coverage is light. This one just sits there politely and does nothing. It's the foundation equivalent of a shrug. So there you have it. Out of 10 foundations, only 3 made it into my salon kit: Nars, MAC, and Luxe. But the one I grab first, every single time, is the Luxe Colorchanging Foundation. That 62-year-old woman I told you about at the beginning, I put it on her. She looked in the mirror and said she finally looked like herself again. And honestly, that's all any of us want, to look in the mirror and recognize the woman looking back, wearing foundation that feels comfortable and looks like skin. Just you, on a good skin day.